I'm Bill Geerhart, the producer of Atomic Platters from Bear Family Records. The early Atomic Platters first popped up literally after the bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. One of the first people was a gentleman by the name of Fred Kirby, who was a country artist in North Carolina. And he was so moved by, the massive publicity over the bomb that he was moved to write Atomic Power, which became a hit for the Buchanan brothers in 1946.
Atomic power was given by the mighty hand of God. Atomic power, it was given by the mighty hand of God.
Atomic Power, written by Fred Kirby but made a hit by the Buchanan brothers, was so popular that Fred Kirby told the music scholar Charles Wolfe that during Harry Truman's inauguration in 1949, one of Kirby's friends shouted out "Atomic Power" at Truman, and Truman waved at him and smiled. The early Atomic Platters, the dominant theme, I would say, would be power, vengeance, patriotism, even spirituality. There was a group called Swan's Silvertone Singers that did a song called "Jesus is God's Atomic Bomb." And then there's the novelty records like Slim Gallard, Atomic Cocktail.
It's the drink that you don't pour. Now when you take one sip, you won't need any more. It's small as a beetle, or big as a wheel. Boom, Atomic Cocktail.
One of the things that's really interesting about Atomic Cocktail by Slim Gallard is the fact that it was recorded on Atomic Records, which was a Los Angeles jazz label that was created to cash in on the awareness of the word atomic.
Atomic Cocktail.
The bomb was also a perfect metaphor for sexuality.
Radioactive mama, hold me tight.
Sheldon Allman was a character actor. He was a novelty singing artist. And he put out this record called Folk Songs for the 21st Century. And on this album, Radioactive Mama just leaps out at you.
Radioactive mama, we'll reach critical mass tonight.
I mean, it is just a hilarious song with great lyrics. But I always was interested in finding out what was in his mind when he recorded that song, because it is just so satirical and so wonderful.
Radioactive mama, we'll reach critical mass tonight.
We interrupt our normal program to cooperate in security and civil defense measures as requested by the United States government. This is a Conelrad radio alert.
The civil defense PSAs were recorded by the Civil Defense Administration, which was a body not unlike the Office of Homeland Security, which we have today.
This is basic civil defense information from the Department of Defense, Office of Civil Defense, Washington.
Conelrad is an acronym.
It stands for Control of Electromagnetic Radiation.
And it was created by an executive order by President Truman back in 1951. And people may grasp it more as a precursor to the emergency broadcast system and the emergency alert system which we have today.
By order of the Federal Communications Commission, all standard radio and television stations in the United States are off the air in the first daytime test of the Conelrad system of emergency broadcasting.
Conelrad's purpose was to provide emergency information in the event of an atomic attack, and it was also to jam or make it harder for Russian bombers to home in on American cities. There were a lot of big-name stars who recorded PSAs for the Federal Civil Defense Administration.
This is Bob Hope.
This is Art Linkletter.
This is Tony Bennett.
This is Mitzi Gaynor.
This is Fred McMurray.
This is Pat Boone.
This is Connie Francis.
This is Johnny Cash.
I think the reason they attracted such big names was that there was a reservoir of goodwill left over from World War II, and there was still a sense of patriotism in the country, and I think stars wanted to get involved.
Lesson and learn through civil defense.
Some of the artists who did the PSAs for the civil defense agencies, I think were corralled into it by maybe their agent to maybe get some visibility out there, because some of them are well past their sell-by date.
This is Boris Karloff. No one can guarantee the survival of every home during a nuclear war.
The popularity of atomic music, I think, had ebbs and flows, but I would say that one of the contributing factors that led to the bomb not really being such a big factor in popular music was the realization of what radiation did to people and the fear that the bomb invoked. I think the fact that it became a deterrent led to it kind of being shunted into the closet, as it were. I would say what makes atomic music relevant today, beyond, say, the kitsch factor, is that it's a reflection of what the popular embrace of the bomb was back in the 1940s and early 50s. But it also reflected the fear, I think the unknown.
And when Einstein's scared, brother, you'd better be scared.
Even today, when something major happens in the culture, you'll have an artist record a song about it. They're called message songs. And I would say that message songs existed before atomic music, but atomic music really distilled a moment in history. The atom bomb and the advent of atomic energy was a civilization-changing event. It changed warfare, it changed science, it changed a whole panoply of things. And I think music captures that zeitgeist. What I really like about the atomic records is that they are so naive, and they are so frightening in some ways, and so indicative of how the Truman and Eisenhower administration kept the lid on the revelations about the dangers of radiation, and how the music kind of reflected the ignorance of that whole cover-up. I think when you look back on it, it's something that's kind of quaint in a way, because you can never imagine something like that happening again.